Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims Info and Thoughts video. So today, they did do a live stream for the new game pack, Dream Home Decorator. So I'm going to be summarizing the main points of this. And they started off with Create a Sim because they revealed that, yep, likes and dislikes are the new feature. So that leak was correct. There are 3 categories that we're getting in the free game update coming out this Thursday, May 27th. Color, music, genre, and activity. There's also a decor category, but that is exclusive to the Dream Home Decorator game pack. Interestingly, when you go into the activity category, it says hobbies and skills, so yeah, kind of an odd way of addressing hobbies, but I guess that is cool that it is going to be in the game for free. I'm still hoping that they do a free time sort of pack though, where they can really expand upon it and give more activities for our Sims to do. By the way, speaking of packs, you do have more choices depending on what packs you have installed. There's this picture that SimGuru Connor tweeted with the music, and just to name a few, there are some that show up like Metal from Nifty Knitting, New Age from Spa Day, and New Disco from Bowling Night Stuff. Connor also showed this screenshot of the Hobbies, so it does integrate with packs, including the skiing and snowboarding from Snowy Escape, singing from City Living, and wellness from the Spa Day game pack. Additionally, SimGuru Connor stated that preferences won't be added to your household without your permission first. When you start, you can assign them preferences in Create a Sim, and then be given opportunities for them to develop later. I was shocked that you can assign up to 20 likes and dislikes, though I guess especially if you do have a lot of packs, that can add up pretty quickly. And kids are able to have likes and dislikes too, though unfortunately toddlers are not. They do affect the gameplay in certain ways, like how with Patina, they made her not like cooking, so she got that buff there saying, I hate cooking, when they made her cook. So she won't autonomously cook, she'll just get the quick meals, so she's not actually cooking. And another example was named where if your Sims dislikes fitness, they actually won't do the whole signature doing push-ups randomly on the floor. When Sims are forced to do activities that they dislike, they will get a reduction in the fun motive, as well as a tense buff. There's also social interactions that unlock depending on whether your Sim just did something that they like or dislike. So, Patina bemoans cooking, and depending on the other Sims' likes and dislikes, they may agree with your Sim or they will disagree. Here's an example of the likes and dislikes in the user interface in the Simology panel, and as you hover over each category, you can see what a Sim likes and dislikes within each of those. There is also an Enter Create a Sim button at the bottom, which is pretty handy if you want to go and change the likes and dislikes. You're not stuck with them forever. It is also possible to learn about likes and dislikes through social interactions. For example, they asked Jeffrey about their favorite color, and Jeffrey responded that their favorite color is white. Overall, this looks like a really cool addition to the game that is definitely a step in the right direction, and I hope they add more to the system, because we can already choose favorites for certain things, like if you have the Movie Hangout Stuff pack, then you can declare your favorite movie, or you can declare your favorite weather if you have seasons. I would also like to have favorite food, just like how we did in The Sims 3, and maybe this could also work as a base for a romantic interaction system in the future. Getting back into Create a Sim, for the hairs and the clothing, I'm not really as impressed as I thought I would be overall, especially with the hair. Most of it looks very similar to stuff that we've already seen. I already did point out one of the hairstyles in a previous video looks very similar to one that we have in Tiny Living, and then there's another one that looks pretty similar to a base game hair, and I think also a hairstyle that we already got in Get Famous. And the masculine stuff, as usual, is just not great, and there's barely any unique stuff. There is some, like, utility kilt instead of utility kit, haha, funny pun. But, yeah, there's some cute items going on in here, especially for feminine fashion, but yeah, it is too bad. I mean, it's mainly a builder pack, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but I do wish that they wouldn't recycle as many items. I get that it's hard to avoid when you have 40 packs for your game, but I don't know. I feel like it would be better just to have a bit less than to have so much recycled items in the game that look similar to each other. Just imagine how bad it could get if The Sims 4 really does last for many more years to come. Even that hairstyle the guy is wearing right there feels very recent. I'm not sure which pack it is in though. But on a more positive note, yes, the new hair colors that they previously announced are coming in this Thursday's update, so I'm looking forward to finally using those. Now let's talk about the new interior designer career. So it does seem like it is kind of like the freelancing and acting careers where you take gigs at your own leisure. So for this career, there are 4 different categories, but you do have to unlock all of them. You don't just have access to every single type of renovation from the start. So there's room renovations where you only have access to one room that you make over and you're locked off from the rest of the lot. Then we have room additions where you add a new room to an existing location. Then you have the level renovation where you access an entire floor of a lot to renovate that. And then you have level addition where you're adding a new floor on top of the existing lot. One interesting that can happen depending on how well you do with your first gig with a client, that same client may ask you back and have you do more. Like for example, if you're asked to renovate the bathroom of a bar, then they may ask you back and be like, okay, now we want you to do the whole bar because you did such an amazing job. Apparently there's about 52 gigs in total to choose from, so seems like there is quite a lot of variety going on here. It's also possible to renovate the own businesses from other packs. I know SimGuru Jill did point out the vet clinics from Cats and Dogs in particular. That was something I was wondering about, but didn't really think about too much, so that is good to have that confirmed too. If you have played with the interior designer career in The Sims 3 Ambitions, then you have a very good idea of what you're getting into. Take the gig, show up to the client's house, maybe get to know them a little bit, and then get started with the renovation. There is one key thing that I do like better this time around, and it's with taking before and after photos. There's even a nice little fade when you go into the photo mode instead of it just suddenly being like, oh, okay, first person. So yeah, that's nicer. And then there's also a before and after montage once you actually show your client the renovation. It's a really nice touch, complete with its own music. Of course, there is the client verdict at the end, so they will go around and they might either like an addition or not like it in certain cases. And then you do have just the final thing that says just how much money you earned and whether your professional reputation went up or down. And it is interesting what the reputation can do, because if you have a good reputation, then if you flubbed a gig, then it's possible for that client to call you back and give you a second chance. And it's also possible for you to get the attention of brands or the home decoration TV network, and then they can give you free gifts apparently. On the flip side though, if you have a terrible reputation, then that means high-profile clients, namely celebrities if you happen to have Get Famous installed, and just commercial venues in general probably won't hire you. Alright, and on that negative side, I forgot to mention that you can also get fired by the client if you do certain things like being rude to them, or not wearing any clothes, or stealing stuff when they're still on the lot. So it's not just about doing the job, but also being professional, so that is really neat in my opinion. Oh, and as a side note, on the gig panel, you can see who your client is going to be before you go over to their house. So if you don't want to make over that house that you spent hours building, then you don't have to. Overall, I think this career looks really fun, though I do wish there had been some new gameplay objects to go along with it. And I mean like ones with completely new animations, not just objects that are repurposed to work better in smaller spaces. Like, I think it would have been great if we had finally gotten the pool table back. there's a few packs that it should have been in, but I think it would have worked great if you were saying, like, getting a rec room gig, or for like a kitchen renovation if they had a wood fire oven with some new recipes. I think that would have made this pack really more like worth its money as a game pack, rather than what I still feel like is just a stuff pack with a lot more objects than usual, and a career that's a little more in-depth than what we got with the Paranormal Investigators. The objects that I think are there are pretty nice though, and I especially love this modular setup with the TV stand. A lot more space to store things, so I'm sure builders will have a lot of fun with that. Sadly though, SimGrew Frost did confirm to me that we are not getting any sectional couches in the base game. The reason I thought we might is because in that leak from months back, it seemed like they were going to be a free feature. We didn't know about this game pack back then. But when May Bluebird asked, will we see more styles of sectional couches in future packs, SimGrew Frost replied with potentially. So maybe it'll be like the bicycles, where we did get one in Discovery University and then we got one in Eco Lifestyle later. If we do get free sectional couches at some point, I would have rather them have just done that right away alongside the game pack and then have a couple of additional ones in Dream Home Decorator, instead of them just suddenly going back on the decision like they did with hot tubs, for example. Lastly, they did show off the new TV channel in high quality, and it's the Home Decorator channel. If you're not in the new career, you'll feel inspired after watching it, but if you are in the new career, then you will feel confident instead, and it's supposed to help you with work, so it's a good idea to watch the channel before you go off to the gig. And definitely some comical intent here, meant to be very lighthearted and goofy, right down to the really cheesy / awful special effects. We're about to see a car leave the driveway too, and yeah! Jeez, Sims, why you gotta be so cruel? I think this might even be worth a separate topic on its own in a separate video, because I'm sure people are gonna take that as a hint, and I did a video recently about, oh, are there possible hints for farming and burglars? So I guess I might as well, especially since I'm so passionate about wanting cars in The Sims 4, but as badly as I want them, that's obviously a special effect made with a decorative car that's already in the game. So overall, I did enjoy the stream despite the annoying glitches here and there. I love that SimGrew Jill came back because I love her energy. She needs to be on a lot more live streams in my opinion. And, well, as for the pack itself, I think this is going to be fun, but I still think they're overcharging for it. But yeah, it's not really a new concept. At least the next update looks really cool though. I am glad that the bunk beds are finally gonna get their full functionality, and we're gonna get more hair colors, and I'm really looking forward to just going through all my Sims and giving them a bunch of likes and dislikes with the new system. And that wraps up another Sims Info and Thoughts video. Today sure was a busy day. I put out a Sonic Info and Thoughts video earlier today too. So feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about what you think of Dream Home Decorator so far, and be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest gaming content, including life simulations and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!